Well,
Oh, well, welcome back for real now.
welcome back for the same time for me.
uh, mm. So, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I should tell the people that I found a wrinkle in our plan of AFK. So the machine costs go up every day. So if we actually let this thing run AFK for a very long time, the machine costs will outweigh the production from the windmill.
I
So
guess
I couldn't,
the solution to that is to sell everything you own.
and then just sit here for hours and hours and
You just let
hours
the
and
game
get
run
like,
for like a week.
yeah, we could do that, but I just stopped instead.
Yeah, no, I
I
think that's
collected a
better.
lot of stuff and put it in the silo and let multiple days pass by, and then I realized that the number was just going up, and I was like, this probably won't work.
So, a month ago, I bought carpet for my house,
Hmm.
and it took a month, I guess, for them to get it all in, have a day open to install it, and in that time, well, okay, first let me back up a little bit. Before I bought the carpet, um, I bought
Before you bought the carpet, there was a plot of land
it
that
that my
a
house was
house
built
was
on.
built on at
Yeah,
some
right.
point.
Um, so Home Depot has the option to have them come out and measure your house for you and everything, and they'll also let you know what you need to move and what you need to do because their advertisement they're running right now is hassle free, nothing to worry about. We'll move out all your furniture. We'll take out all the old carpet, and if you spend over $600 right now, installation is free. So I was like, hey, that sounds pretty good. I need new carpet. I'm gonna get in on this.
And
Um,
I'm assuming there was fine print.
no, I mean, well, there was just, I mean, there's a lot of big ass contract, but um, none of that really, none of that has been a problem. So a guy came out and assessed the house, did the measuring of everything, and he said, "All right, your piano, they're not gonna move. You're gonna have to move your piano." I was like, "All right, cool." Um, yesterday, I got a call from,
That's a hassle though.
yeah. It's a heavy piano. It takes more than one person. It's a pain. But all right, I can handle moving the piano. Yesterday I got a call from the because it's a third party that they outsource out to actually.
I think it's kind of funny though that it's like this hassle-free carpet installation, and they're like, "We won't move your piano," and you're like, "No big deal. I got this. I'm better than you guys. I got this piano."
It's on wheels. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's still fucking heavy, and I did hit my toe with it, and it hurt quite a bit. And it takes up my entire kitchen, so like it was like I had to make the choice between kitchen or piano, and so like could not get into my kitchen at all after last night of moving the piano into the kitchen. Um, but I also took the time to repaint my house, all the rooms in my house beforehand. I was like, well, this carpet doesn't matter. It's about to be pulled up, and I can not even worry about getting paint on it. So I did. I just painted and got paint on my carpet, whatever. Um, and last night I got a call from the third party company that does the installation, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't move any electronics, and everything in the closet has to actually be moved as well ahead of time. All the closets." And so I was like, "All right, okay, all right, that's fine." I was already planning on moving my computers and stuff anyway, so I didn't want them fucking with it. I was like, "All right, that's no big deal. I don't really have any other electronics because I just don't." And so took care of that, moved everything out of the closet, which was basically just like Christmas stuff, like the decorations and the tree and whatnot. Moved all that. Filled up my whole
Couple
bathroom.
dead bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Uh, like the bathroom here in my office, like that's basically where everything from the closet went, and also all my computer stuff because it's linoleum, it's not getting carpet. So completely, yeah. I spent like all last night tearing down my computer, moving everything in the closet and everything. So they're supposed to be here between 11 and 1 today. And they get here around noon. And he comes in, he starts walking through the house, and he's like, well, for one thing, he didn't hardly speak any English. It was very, very, very broken English, so it's very hard to understand what he was saying to me. But he's basically like, "Did you know we were coming?" And I was like, yeah, I knew you were coming." He's like, "Well, what about all this stuff everywhere?" And I was like, "Well, you're gonna move everything from room to room as you go. That's what you said. Move it from room to room." And he's like, "No, no, we only move big furniture, just big furniture. Can't be anything in it either." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, well, "That's not that big of a deal. There's not that much else here." I was like, "So what else can't you move?" He's like, all this stuff." And I was like, "What stuff? Point at something. Give me an example. Point at it and tell me what it is that you can't move." And he's like, "Well, the stuff." And I was like, "I don't. I." Don't understand. I don't understand. Can you tell me what it's? Oh, I can't do this. I only have 1 hour. Can't do it all.
1 hour.
Right,
He's gonna
1
do a house
hour.
in an hour.
He was going to carpet my entire house in 1 hour in his mind, and patting and ripping up carpet and all this too. He's 1 hour is all he had.
I mean, I'm glad you live in like a tiny house.
Right, yeah, got the tiny
100
house.
square foot, no big deal. An hour, I'll get this thing done.
Yeah, it's like the whole house, like 2 bedrooms. They're like 20 by 20 in size. My bedroom's like 12 by 12. Laundry room, dining room. Yeah. 1 hour. So anyways, I'm like, I don't understand exactly what the problem is. I don't know what you can and can't move. I don't know what your assessor came out and he said that the only thing you wouldn't move was the piano, and as you can see, it's there in the kitchen, and all the
so the assessor is the guy who came out, looked at it, and said this is the one thing that they can't move.
Right, and he did the official measurements to make sure that that the carpet was like cut the right size and whatnot. So that they brought out, like I don't know how much they have to cut it still, but basically, so they don't waste a bunch of carpet, whatever. Get the right measurements.
Right.
And he's like, well, I got to call my manager. And so he calls his manager, and his manager says he's going to call me, but he can't because I don't have any cell service at home. I normally use like Wi-Fi cell service, but my internet was taken out because I had to move all that stuff, And so eventually we get that sorted, and I talked to him on worker's telephone. And he's like, yeah, my guy says there's a cat tree there. And I'm like, yeah, there's a cat tree. Well, we can't move the cat tree. And I'm like, okay, well, I can move the cat tree in another room. It's not a big deal. Well, he says there's DVDs. And I'm like, yeah, there's DVDs. Well, we don't move DVDs. And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I was like, so I can move the DVDs too. I mean, it's a really small rack. It's just my daughter's DVDs. It's like a little tiny rack of DVDs. And he's like, well, he says there's other stuff. And I'm like, what exactly? And like, so in the laundry room, there's a shelf that's attached to the wall that's like up in the sky. And he's like, oh yeah, there's towels and blankets on the shelf. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not putting carpet on the shelf. And he's like, yeah, but we need clearance. And I'm like, but it's in the sky, like it's not in the way at all, and you don't need to move that stuff. It's like, yeah, we don't move personal stuff. And I was like, So
what was in your contract from Home Depot? I'm confused about this whole hassle-free contract, especially with an assessor who came out to assess.
Right. I said that they.
I'm assuming that's what an assessor does.
Yeah. No, it says that they
English vernacular correctly.
It says that they move things from room to room, one room at a time, and they'll put down the carpet and then move things back, basically. And so, I told the manager guy, I'm like, well, I got all my stuff moved here, and I don't know what needs to change. He's like, well, we can come out whenever you're actually ready. And I'm like, but I'm ready right now, actually. Right now is when I'm ready.
I'm not going to do a goddamn thing different.
Well, that's the thing is I don't even know what to do different. I don't know what else needs to be moved. They could not clarify that for me. And he's like, well, yeah, put my worker back on the phone. And so I give the phone back to the guy. The guy goes outside and drives away. And I call Home Depot, and they're like, yeah, well, we don't do the installation. It's a third party. Here's their number. And so I call them, and they're like, yeah, we see that the manager talked to you. And I was like, so what's going on? Are they coming back? Like, what's happening? They're like, we don't know. We'll put a note on your account, and he'll call you.
So, did you get any carpet installed today?
No. They left.
Okay, so when we first got into the channel, you said something about the carpet, and I guess my mind went to that they actually had installed it today.
No, I said that I had to redo all my audio setup because I was getting carpet installed today.
Right, and I wondered why you were like, let's talk about it in a little bit. I was like, okay, something funny happened. I didn't realize it was to the point where nothing happened.
Yeah, it's almost like a non-story because I didn't get carpet installed today.
So I would have flipped out on Home Depot personally because I don't care if it's a third party or not.
Well, the thing is, I know the person that's answering the phone is just making like $10 an hour, and they can't do anything for me. So it's pointless to yell at this employee.
when I say flip out, I guess it doesn't mean to yell at them, to get managers involved to make corrections, because if there was a hassle-free, installation, for one, they're ultimately responsible for making sure that deal goes through appropriately, because you purchased through them. It doesn't matter that they hired a third party.
Right.
You purchased it through them. But the other person I would be really upset with is this assessor guy.
Right.
Or maybe the assessor did his job appropriately, and the people who are coming out to do the install are the ones that are doing it. I don't know what the company's policies is, but there's obviously a breakdown in communication on what the contract was that you have with them.
And I could not half understand what the installation guy was saying to me. That was the most frustrating thing, because at one point, whenever I was telling him, I was like, "Can you just point at something and tell me that this is the problem area? Point at it." And I started touching it. I was like, "Is this the problem area?" And I touched my rack of DVDs. He's like, "I don't have a problem moving anything." And I'm like, well, then let's get going. Let's work. Let's do it.
You're like, what's this conversation about right now?
Right. And he's like, I only have an hour. I have other jobs. I will not get paid if I have to spend more than an hour here. And I'm like, I don't understand. You're supposed to move all this stuff. And then when I called the third party company to try to find out what's going on, the woman on the phone was like, yeah, we don't move any personal stuff. Oh, you got a cat tree? No, we don't touch stuff like that. I was like, but it's something that took me 5 seconds to move. It's not even a heavy item. I can move it to another room. If that's what's stopping this installation from happening, I can pick it up and move it. It's not a problem.
Who was the assessor? Was that through Home Depot?
Yeah, it was a Home Depot. I mean, he had a Home Depot badge when he got here.
So I would have definitely gone to town with Home Depot on that, because they very well could have hired a third party that has restrictions on things they won't move. Granted, obviously somebody's taking it a little bit extreme when they won't lift up a cat tree and walk it to the next room if they will lift up furniture. And I don't understand the concept too of, we won't move furniture unless it's empty. You telling me that you expect me to empty out my drawers?
That's what when they called me last night, which they could have told me this a fucking month ago. When they called me last night, that's one of the things they said. All your drawers must be emptied out. And she's like, I see here you have cats. They have to be in cages. I ignored that part. I'm not putting my cats in cages while the people install carpet. But yeah, they told me last night all my drawers.
One of the linoleum rooms, maybe.
Well, it's just the bathroom and the kitchen. The kitchen doesn't have a door. It's just open.
They walk in and they're like, no, that cat is not in a cage. You're like, the cat's not in the rooms here. I'm sorry, we told you, sir. The cat must be in a cage.
But yeah, they told me the night before about the closets. The floors have to be cleared out on the closet, which is everything's in boxes. But that was the other thing too. I have some boxes for full of some stuff for this project I'm working on, and they're like, yeah, we don't move boxes. And they point at my Guude statue. We don't move that. There's just so many things they don't move. It's just it's just a fucking cardboard box.
That cement cardboard box. Oh my God, I would be so angry. And it's bad because our downstairs tenant, her basement has now flooded twice in the last 2 weeks because we've had a lot of heavy rains in DC, and our drain pipe outside is getting clogged with leaves and stuff. And it's flooded into the basement apartment. So we have a person coming out on Thursday for tile installation, because right now that there's carpet, we've always wanted to get a change to tile since we moved in, but our tenant moved in so quick. But now she's all about getting the tile because of the, now that she knows that there might be water that comes in there. And we didn't know that this was a problem, because we just bought this house recently. We weren't here through a season like this until recently. But now I'm worried that they're going to come down here and give us this installation quote for tile and tell us they're going to do all the installation. And they're going to show up and be like, oh, your tenant didn't move all of her shit, out and empty the boxes appropriately to get this thing actually done.
The thing is, I don't even know if they're ever coming back right now. I don't know what has happened. And I can't get anyone to tell me.
I would take that up with Home Depot.
I did. I called them so many times. I called them 3 times, and I got a different person every time. And every time they were like, yeah, we just sell the carpet. Don't know what happens after that.
I would definitely ask for a manager or get their assessor. Who does the assessment? Ask them, who's the person that came out here and did the assessment? What's on their notes? If on their notes is the only thing you have to move is the piano, I mean, that's what the contract was that they made with you.
Right. It's
That's insanity.
the
Like,
other
I
thing
don't-
is like I went out to their truck to look at what all they had in their truck because he wanted me to check that they had the right carpet and everything, and I didn't see any like shop vac or
I
any,
didn't see any carpet.
no, the carpet was there, but I didn't see any shop vac or anything. And so now, like, I didn't question it at the time, but like later when I was thinking about it, like, I'm kind of worried they're gonna rip up the other carpet and just throw down new carpet without like even vacuuming the floor underneath or anything.
Pretty confident that that's exactly what they're gonna do.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but obviously they sound like a terrible company as it is, right?
It's pretty bad.
Oh, we didn't start this guy seating over here, did we?
No, I don't think
Where's
so.
all this? There it is. Yeah, that after dealing with this, this company with the estimate for the architecture drawing, I don't understand businesses. I've said that. Like, it does. You can make a sale, but if you can't make a sale and like then fulfill your obligation or keep those customers around, what's the point of the sale? You can't tell me Home Depot stays in business because of one-time customers
Right.
who never want to come back because they're displeased with the service.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I can't even get an answer like where my carpet's even at now. Like no one knows anything.
I don't even know what to tell you. Yeah, get on the phone with Home Depot in the morning again and ask for a manager. That's all that you can really do.
I mean, if I didn't work from home, like I can't even imagine. Like he just walked out of my house and drove away without telling me anything. And like, if I had like had the day off, like, would I go back to work now? Are they coming back? Are they going to lunch? Like, what is happening?
Well, and the fucked up thing is, it tells you what kind of company that is when then that happens and you call them and they give you the same answers. They're not even trying to like do, customer reconciliation of any type. But a bad company like that can probably pretty easily stay in business because they're not directly getting customers to pay them for this stuff. They're working as a third contract person through a big place, probably because they underbid, because they have no other way to get business. I would bet that they've already burned the bridges in the customer service scale. That's why they're doing what they do.
Right.
Because shit, $600 for carpet installation sounds ridiculously cheap, right?
Well, you have to buy $600 worth of carpet to get free installation.
But,
like, I actually looked it up after all this happened today, and I called like a carpet place, and they're like, we actually just factor the installation into the price of the carpet. So any carpet sells we normally do free installation.
Oh, that's interesting to know.
Yeah. Now that was just that one place, but I got a feeling that's probably how it always is. So I kind of feel like they sold me on this thing that I'm not going to get anyways. Like this, I mean, this whole hassle-free thing is, because I mean, I've cleared out my house like immensely compared to, because I was going to get new furniture anyway. So I got rid of all the furniture, like the living room's completely empty. Like one of the things he said, yeah, my worker sent me some pictures of your living room, and then he started naming the cat tree. And he's like, and there's an iPad on the table.
And?
Yeah.
Oh, we saw a cell phone in your pocket.
Right. I was like, my daughter's iPad. He's like, yeah, sometimes when we move tables, you have to turn up on the side and stuff. We can't be responsible for your personal items.
It sounds like a joke. It sounds not real.
I assure you it was real.
I think you're making stuff up for the views, man.
Doing it for the views. I just want fucking carpet. I've already picked out. Like I have furniture being delivered, and like,
yeah, shit. What are you gonna do? When's it getting delivered?
It's supposed to be Friday.
So if you don't get that carpet installed by Friday, which by the way, for those watching, it's Tuesday right now, like as we're recording this. So you got 3 days to get carpet installed. Otherwise, you're gonna have to delay the delivery. It's probably gonna cost money, right?
Who knows? I wish I hadn't bought the damn furniture now. Because I don't even know. Because at one point he said, well, we'll just give you a refund. So for all I know, I'm not getting carpet installed.
And do you think, now I guess if they gave you a refund, and what would they give you a refund of? Since you didn't pay for them, would they give you a refund on installation? Or do you think Home Depot like turfed out the entire order?
I mean, that's possible. Like, it's possible that I'm getting a refund. I have no idea. That's the thing. I can't. No one knows anything.
Because it'd be really interesting if you got a refund for installation and then Home Depot gives you a refund for the entire amount too, and you like made a couple $100. But I would more bet that they will basically just give Home Depot a refund, or maybe Home Depot will still have to pay them. Like, I don't.
I have no idea.
Well, I'm glad I'm not dealing with that. Man, I that when the cable company used to, come show up late for installation. That's like trivial in comparison to an entire house of.
I looked
carpet.
up online an estimate on how long it's going to take to install carpet, and it's supposed to be like 2 hours per room on average to install carpet. So how he thought he was going to rip up carpet and install new carpet in an hour is just beyond me.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Oh shoot, I passed the spinnery.
Like, one of the things in the living room that he kept looking at was like, I have this like shoe caddy filled with shoes. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I?
Girl,
I don't know.
Guude's a woman.
I have a daughter. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just things I don't even know what to do with. And I've already filled up like my daughter's playroom with shit, like because they said electronics. I put like the TV in my bedroom in there, and like everything from the laundry room I threw in there. Because like I figured they weren't gonna move like I don't know, like the things that like all the like detergent sits on in the laundry room, for example. Like, I was like, well, these are all little small items. I'll get this out of the way. It'll be easier. But I did expect him to. Oh yeah, and he mentioned at one point whenever he was naming shit, he said I saw there was a glass table, and I think he's talking about my 2 glass desks. Like, I have the glass top on my desks. So I don't know if something that's a problem too, because they have glass. I don't know. That's the thing is, like, even if it was to be rescheduled, I don't know what I need to do differently anyways. I don't know. It just pissed me off.
Yeah, I would have been a little more demanding than I think you were in the situation. Where the hell is this place to drop off the wool?
I still thought we were having a conversation because the worker guy said at one point, I would have to do it today and tomorrow, and I was like, okay, that's fine. You can come back tomorrow and finish.
It doesn't bother me. Go for it.
And then I said that. That's the last thing I said to the manager. I was like, well, the worker said he could do it today and tomorrow. He's like, put my worker back on the phone. And I said, okay. And the worker took the phone, and I never saw him again. And that was what's the most frustrating part, is I didn't think the conversation was over at that point. Just suddenly, I had no recourse. Like, there wasn't any, I didn't have any way to talk to this manager anymore because I don't have his number. And worker dude's just gone. So it was just like, all right, bye.
Yeah, and after that, to have that company basically give you the same crap, like, oh yeah, I do that. That's why, they left, essentially. What piss poor customer service.
Yep.
I worked in the restaurant industry for so many years of my life. I still get fed up with people who, like, I go cafeteria at work. I was there today just buying food, and the girl at the checkout line didn't like even acknowledge that I existed, continued carrying on a conversation with their friend that she was carrying on a conversation with, and just kind of like put her hand out for my credit card after bringing my stuff up. And I was like, piss poor customer service. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
But that's what they let people get away with now, and it doesn't seem to matter.
What are you going to do? That's the thing, right?
I mean, in that case, I could have complained, but that's not worth it for me to complain about.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's not like they treated me rudely, like directly. It was just indirectly rude,
Right.
type of deal. And I guess indirectly rude is way better than directly rude. So, because I've had like directly rude people in restaurants before, and because I worked in the restaurant industry for so long in my life, I will let somebody or their manager know if there's been like blatantly terrible service for any reason. But I also am very good about letting a manager know when there was phenomenal service.
Did you sell something?
Because I did. I sold all the wool.
Oh.
I didn't even look how much it was worth. Yeah, you just park it there and wait, and it starts like slowly trickling away.
Nice. That was like 100
I didn't
grand, I
even,
think.
yeah, I didn't even look at how much it was worth. I just kind of drove it.
Oh no. Well, maybe the price dropped after you sold it. Maybe.
Yeah, probably because it was slowly selling it all. I don't know though. I could have just sold it for a really bad amount of money.
Yeah, it was at 8,000 before we sped up time. That's back down to 6,300.
Yeah, I never looked. I live on the edge.
Mary's Farm is actually paying a lot for soybean, but it's dropping as we speak.
But we're only at one-time speeds. That's not going to drop much.
Yeah, just went from 1844 to 1833. But you could go dump it all on her if you want.
Yeah,
Or I guess I could.
Well, I'm almost back, so if you're doing something, I can easily get over there. What is our... Yeah, sunflower's not doing that great right now.
Corn is actually Gomez is giving 922 for corn.
Oh, see? That's why we waited. 922 is much better. I think we should go get rid of that corn. I think it's a lot more
Yeah.
than the corn is. So I'll go dump some corn off for sure. But yeah, customer service is something I hold like near and dear to my heart. And even as a nurse, it's like I'll tell you, I might have talked about this a couple weeks ago when I got to go to the hospital for the first time in a long time in the fire station. Did this ring a bell at all?
No.
I don't know. So I basically went on a last minute call. It was like 6:45. Our shift ends at 7. You know, we go.
Are
to
you
this
talking about the
call
guy that
because-
peed himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, and it's like a customer service thing in a way. It's just like, okay, we got the ability and the time, you know, changing the dude's underwear. It's like a dignity, treating people with respect type of deal.
Right.
Like, and I think that being in the restaurant industry, even though it was McDonald's for most of it, and just a little bit of restaurant, you know, later in my career, but I think it teaches you so much, just for one, about human nature, how to treat other people with respect, how to deal with people who treat you completely disrespectfully and respectfully. Because I've had a fair share of customers who are just the biggest assholes I've ever met in my life, and I can't believe that they would treat people that they don't even know with such disregard for any type of respect. But I've also had people who are some of the customers who go out of their way to treat employees with respect. And I think that's great. I would bet you they worked in the food service industry at some point in their life. That's why they act like that. But I do believe it teaches you a lot about human nature in general. And especially working there at the age of 16, when I started, much more impressionable on me than somebody who, say, you know, goes and picks up a side gig as a waiter or waitress or something like that in their 30s.
Right.
Because you're more set in your ways at that point, and it's harder to change. I'm not saying you can't change, but it's harder to change. So definitely, any kids out there who are like young and about to get your first job and don't want to work in fast food because it's degrading or whatever, it was one of the best things that I've ever done in my life.
Do you think it made you a better tipper?
Yes. I won't say it made me a worse tipper because I very, very, very rarely have tipped poorly, and I've only tipped poorly when it was like blatantly required.
I'm a lot nicer with my tips than I think some people are. I guess because I've worked in the food industry. But if I leave you a bad tip, you done really fucked up.
Yeah, and the thing is, that a lot of people don't realize is a lot of people will leave no tip, and they think that that's like telling somebody that they did a bad job. No tip is actually a bad thing to do, because even though people get upset when they don't get a tip, the biggest assumption is that you forgot.
Yeah.
It's not that they think that you're telling them about their service. Leaving a very small tip is more of the nail in the coffin. That tells you, I am blatantly going out of my way to give you a small amount of money because you are a terrible server.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like those jobs. And it's funny because in some states, if you're listening to this in California, I don't understand the California laws, because food service people who are tip-based professions still are required to get minimum wage. In Michigan, where I grew up, we got $2.75 an hour when you were in a tip-based. Yeah, and you supplemented the rest with tips. So it's not even that. A lot of people go and say, why am I going to tip somebody when I'm already paying for this meal? And they don't understand that the person's salary is actually, their wage is they get less than minimum wage because it's a tip-based industry. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, no, I like the countries where it's not that way.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, but that is the way it is, and it's just an unfortunate like side effect. You can make that and turn that into your favor if you're a really good waiter or waitress, really customer focused, and in an area that has people that are able to tip like that. Because sorry to say that if you're in like downtown Flint, Michigan, you're probably still not dealing with a lot of people who are going to tip well because the area is just in turmoil.
I feel like buffets are a bad place to work too if you're looking for tips. I feel like people at buffets just don't tip very well.
I don't think there's a need to tip people at buffets.
They still bring you your drink.
Some of them have that little photo.
Okay, yeah, no, if it's a place like that doesn't I mean, but then there's not even a waiter, is there? Or a waitress? What did they even do it?
Exactly. That's why would I tip anybody there?
Yeah.
I will tell my sister when I was in Michigan a couple months ago, she was talking about this Asian buffet that was by them. That was the best Asian buffet, not because the food quality was so good, but I was actually talking about I asked her if she'd ever been to a Golden Corral because I was really impressed with Golden Corral, and I thought it was going to be this like, this shitty ass buffet type style place, like Old Country Buffet quality. Don't get me wrong, I like Old Country Buffet, but the quality is a little bit poor. Whereas Golden Corral, they have so many different ridiculous stations of so many things. It's quite impressive. And she said, no, you need to go to the Asian Buffet by us. It's literally called Asian Buffet. That's the name of it, is Asian Buffet.
Was it good?
They have basically it's not as big as Golden Corral, but they have a steak section where they're cooking steaks, and next to it is the a Mongolian barbecue. So part of this whole thing is literally going and get plates of Mongolian barbecue, followed by my steak at the guy that just cooked it for me next door, followed by like the rest of the buffet offerings.
Yeah, there's one in Charlotte called 1010 that's like that. That also has crab legs every night too. It's
every night.
Yeah, even like just not just the weekends. Yeah, I like that place.
Yeah, because this one she said also had crab legs, but it was only certain days of the week.
Gotcha.
We were not there, and it was $9.95.
Oh,
I think a person. It was cheap as shit. It was ridiculously cheap, and she had a coupon. That made it like $7.95 a person or something like that.
So I think Golden Corral's hurting. A lot of locations just shut down in the last 2 months, including the one in my town.
Do you think it's because they just are? I mean, I don't know, because they're not that expensive either.
They are kind of expensive though. It's like $15 a person, like $14.99, I think.
For all you can eat, everything.
Okay, fair enough. But compared to Asian buffet, they're kind of expensive.
But there's not an Asian buffet by me anywhere. There's nothing for that price around me in DC, which is sad. Very sad. Who the hell's Mary's Farm? There it is. I mean, I'd be sad to see. Granted, I don't have a Golden Corral. So, but then I look at places like, Fogo de Chao, and I don't understand how they can get away with, $50. And granted, $50 might sound like a lot, but for the quality and quantity of meat that they're coming around with, I guarantee I eat more than $50 worth of meat. But maybe I just don't know how to price meat.
I wonder that too, because it does seem like you get a pretty good deal at Fogo de Chao. But yeah, maybe we're just not good at meat pricing. I mean, they buy cows at a time, right?
I would assume they would have to, but I would also assume that, granted, it doesn't taste like it because they do it really well. I would assume they have to buy frozen stuff and store it, or maybe they go through it so fast they don't need to. Because I don't know how you'd keep that stock in on that rotation if you didn't. That's stocking. No, but if you didn't like freeze it, I can't imagine getting a delivery of that quantity of meat every single day.
Yeah. The steakhouse I used to work at, we just got like a half of a full half cow. And we'd break it down ourselves.
But like how often?
Every week.
But would you freeze it?
No.
Oh, you just leave it on. I didn't realize it that long in a restaurant setting. I never worked at a high class restaurant.
I don't know if this place was considered high class or not. I don't know. I don't know. It was a weird restaurant. Like, you could grill your own steak, or you could have the cook grill it for you.
You could grow your own steak?
Grill.
Oh, grill your own steak.
Yeah, there's like a big meat section. You go and pick out your steak, and then you can season it and grill it yourself, or you can have the Wild Bill grill it for you.
What was his name, Wild Bill?
His name was Wild Bill.
Yo, Bill, do some more wild stuff.
He looked just like Wild Bill Hitchcock, whatever the fuck, Hitchcock,
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
I guess one of the sad things about Asia Buffet with their Mongolian barbecue is they didn't do the things like they do at Mongolian Barbecue, the chain restaurant.
Like where they
didn't
do the fancy stuff.
Right, they didn't do all the flipping around and like singing songs and stuff. You know.
That's such a gimmick.
Oh, of course it's a gimmick, but it's like Benihana. You ever been to Benihana?
I have not.
Benihana is the what do they call it? Is it a Japanese steakhouse? Is that what you call them? Where you all sit around the grill?
Oh, that's what I was talking about, actually. Yeah, the thing where they flip the fucking shrimp into their hat or whatever.
Yeah. That's more of a Benihana. I can't remember what those things are called though. Mongolian barbecue, like the chain Mongolian barbecue. It's the same concept, but you go fill your bowl up with all the raw food that you want and all the veggies and all that stuff.
Right.
You take it to the central grill and they cook it for you.
Yeah. And they scrape all that shit off into the center.
Yeah.
Wonder what that center
good
pit
stuff.
looks like at the end of every night.
Oh, probably delicious.
Probably. I wonder.
Right.
I wonder what happens to it. It's like it's like the suicide from a bar, basically, where you take.
It's just the remnants in a glass.
Yeah.
Or on a plate.
It's like
The
that's how
employees
you
might
like.
have bets every night.
Yeah, you like haze a new employee. You got to eat the fucking center remnants.
Just like the movie Waiting. I guess it's not just like it because I don't think that was in the movie Waiting, but it should have been.
What's Waiting?
You ever seen the movie Waiting?
I don't think I have.
Oh my God, Waiting with Ryan Reynolds and Anna Faris, and it is. If you've been in the restaurant industry, one of the funniest movies in my opinion of all time.
Check it out.
It is a fantastic comedy, and I like Ryan Reynolds anyway. Like in general, I think he's hilarious, but Waiting is just like. It is so spot on. It talks about the people breaking the golden or the golden rule, and is don't fuck with those who handle your food.
Oh man, I've seen some gross shit happen to people's food in Shoney's.
Shoney's sounds like a place that would have gross shit happen to the food.
I mean, it's just from people being assholes and then their food being treated poorly.
I think I just sold the wrong thing to the wrong place.
Well done.
Fuck, I think I did. I'm not 100% certain, but just looking at the numbers, that we still had 80-some-odd thousand soybeans, and I just went and sold a bunch of what I thought was soybeans to Mary's farm. I think I clicked on sunflowers.
Oh man.
But I mean, what are you gonna do?
Sell sunflowers to Mary.
Well, now I'm gonna go sell some soybeans to Mary on top of it all. Yeah, we wouldn't have even had enough in the silo for that. So yeah, I definitely picked that one up. Oh well. It's just money.
We've made quite a bit of money.
Yeah, selling all those bales, that was like 6 or 7, clippings worth of bales. Oh, whoops, I went the wrong way. And then all the wool that I sold as well. Which the wool produces pretty goddamn fast now.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of sheep that we have all of a sudden. Because they've been horny. Having orgies. Oh my god. Ugh. A pickup truck just didn't give 2 fucks that I was crossing the street. He literally T-boned me as I was crossing. I didn't know they were going to do that.
Yeah, they're down to 12 hours even. Now we're up to 80 sheep.
So yeah, we've already gotten 2 since we started recording. So weren't we at 78? Oh, I guess we sped up time to let the crops grow, so
yeah.
It might have grown in that time. How close are we on the planting?
Let's see, it's planting in the 14 now. 15's planted. One of them's already planted. 14 is already planted.
Okay.
And I'm trying to tab over to. Here we go. So almost done, basically. I'm planting the corn now. Yeah, we're almost.
So with this amount of money that we just got, we should be looking at what the 2 purchases we want to make of equipment.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
That's another baler and another or a sower that fertilizes.
Right.
Because that'll really speed up some.
So let me look at that. Baling technology.
And here comes more.
Which I guess we do need to cut the grass, actually.
We can set the worker on it. Now that I've taken off that front mower. We don't have to, though. Look at that, 539,000 in one episode.
That's a lot.
Yeah, granted, we won't. It'll take us a little bit longer to get that high of a yield again, just because it took.
Right. Did you put the windrow on when you had him do it too?
Yeah, it was the double and the windrower, because then he still utilizes the full spread of the lawnmower when he turns around.
If you put the one on the back, will he actually mow all 3?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try that, because then we could windrow later.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's what that person was trying to tell me in the comments.
Comments are stupid.
Yeah, now I'm really curious if that's gonna work. Because if it does,
Yeah, we could windrow like every 3rd time or something, right?
I guess theoretically you'd only have to windrow right before you bail, right?
Yeah. Oh, yep, he's doing it.
And he's doing the turns at the.
Oh no.
So yeah, maybe.
I guess we'll see. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's all about the turns, because that was the problem before when we had the 3 and the windrower in the back. Is he was just doing it to the turning around to the width of the front one.
Right.
Don't cut me! Don't cut me! Don't cut me!
Oh, he stopped.
I forgot he stops when you get in front of him.
That's stupid. Just cut that bitch down. I wish he didn't pick it up at the ends though. Like there's extra grass there.
Spun. Yeah, that's true. There is extra grass. Quit going so goddamn slow.
What is he doing? Why?
He's a terrible driver. I think he
really
works for
is.
that carpet installation company.
Oh, looks like he's doing the right thing.
Oh yeah, he's doing the right width. So maybe this is the way to go. Just keep doing it like this, and then we, run down and do a windrow right before you bail.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can do this. That'll work. Maybe the comments do have some meaning to them sometimes. Nah. Never. Yeah, looks good. So I would guess in the next episode we'll buy some equipment.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.